Beautiful.
I say now like I'm really confident in what I just said. I'm not. I'm not
Is
at
this
all.
thing on?
Now we are live right now. Three Fellas remix. It wasn't just a deeper dive remix. Three Fellas as well. Looking a little different. We should have a tweet coming out. Sorry for the technical difficulties, but you know, I'm kind of just a dum-dum tonight and couldn't get it to work.
This is what happens when you produce the show instead of me, you know? Just problems left and right.
It seems like that is true. What's going on, everybody? I am Josh Engelman, filling in here for Laffy. The normal fellas are to my left and my right. You can see that I am on a lovely beach right now because I didn't want you guys to see just a bright green background on my green screen. It would have looked ridiculous. So, Andrew, Ben, I haven't talked to you guys in forever. What's going on?
Yeah, man. You picked, it's convenient that you fill in on Chargers Chiefs. We've been doing Jaguars Titans, some of the ugliest showdowns. This is a good one to have you back for sure.
I'm glad to be back.
Yeah, man.
It's true. The last time you were on was a trash game, but I do feel like you pulled from somewhere. The call of the night. Didn't you say like this feels like a Broncos captain night?
I certainly did, and they were a fantastic play because I know my shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they beat the living snot out of Rosen in where's that? Glendale, Arizona.
What's that place that I will probably never be?
Yeah, no. That's a no for me, dog.
Unless I'm 80.
It's too hot.
Just retired to, you know?
Yeah, I guess.
It's not as hot as it is like for, I don't know. As an East Coast person originally, heat, whatever. I don't want to talk about this. The heat is so much worse on the East Coast, though, with the humidity.
That's a different kind of heat.
Yeah. That's what they say, you know? It's a different kind of cold, too. When it's like 55 here, I'm losing it. But that's also because it's 90 almost every day. Anywho, you guys excited for this game?
I am. I mean, I'd be more excited if everybody was healthy or not kicked off the team.
Yeah.
Got some big ones. We have Spencer Ware is inactive. Melvin Gordon is inactive. So the top dogs should be the backup running backs or like third, fourth string, whatever string we're on at this point. But it looks to be Justin Jackson and Damian Williams. The more expensive D. Williams, for those of you at home. Don't get confused by that. And that are going to be running the show tonight. Ben, I think you're more on the running backs than I am. What do you make of this situation here?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, we always talk about it. You got to build those narratives. I lean to these running backs, both of them. The work. Justin Jackson, I think, has less competition. He's going to get a lot of work. Who knows with the Chiefs? Whatever his name is, West is back.
Charkandrick? Man,
Charkandrick.
Get him out of here. Who knows
God, if Laffy was here, he would be so mad at you right now.
Hearing his name.
Is he a big Charkandrick West fan?
Yeah.
No, he's just a pronunciation Nazi. Thinks he knows how to say everything perfectly. So,
and I can't pronounce anything. Like golf is just a disaster every week. But Williams, I have plenty. I think it's a good spot. He's cheap enough, especially if you use him in captain, you can load up. But I'm definitely heavier on the running backs the most. I think this game, not that it's, when I say ugly, I don't mean what we've just seen with Vikings, Seahawks, and the other garbage that we just saw with the Rams and the Bears. But I don't think this is going to shoot out as much as maybe some other people do.
Ooh, really?
Yeah. And that's, I mean, I don't know. I think this game's played in the 20s. So if that's kind of how I'm building, I certainly have some Chargers defense in there to play along with that. I have plenty of skill positions, but are you guys more that it might get up there?
Yeah, I think it's going to get up there, but I'm with you on Chargers defense. Who am I if I'm not targeting Pat Mahomes in Showdown? Like, this is what I do. I think we've had this show 12 times this year.
He just can't stop being good.
Yeah, and that doesn't hurt the Chargers defense per se.
He also makes like 4 terrible plays a game, and hopefully the Chargers capitalize on one of those.
Is he like the Russell Westbrook of football?
No, but incidentally, that is Casey Hayward who plays on the Chargers, which makes Tyreek Hill kind of interesting. He is legitimately one of those guys that everyone thinks is an absolute shutdown cornerback because he makes crazy plays. he's actually kind of mediocre. He's Russ Westbrook in that like he gambles for steals basically, so he gets these wacky interceptions, but he is also like not immune to getting just absolutely roasted. And with someone as fast as Tyreek Hill, that's a potentially scary thing going on. He's also banged up. I don't know what to make of that. Do either of you guys have Tyreek Hill takes? Because Casey Hayward is the kind of guy I would like to play Tyreek Hill against, because I think the narrative that he will just shut him down is stronger than the probability that he does. But then on a showdown when he's kind of hurt and going to be 60% on either, it's Tyreek Hill. This is like the bagel master. Like he could easily not do anything because that's kind of how it works with him.
Yeah, I mean, you're not playing Tyreek Hill for like his median projection.
Exactly. Yeah, no, it's similar. It's not as severe as last time, but we had talked, I believe it was Rams, Chiefs, and I was saying Tyreek Hill to me is the kind of guy I want to play, and when I play him, it's in the captain, because if it's his ceiling, you want the captain, and if it's his floor, you obviously don't want the captain. So I think this is I think he's legitimately banged up. He did torch. That was a long time ago. That was week 1. Put up 45, which just shows he can certainly have some success. This is an Arrowhead that will, not that he's got better road splits, which is just bizarre, but I am a little worried. I think Kelsey's obviously a little safer, but it's hard to argue with that ceiling.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point. And we have not discussed this yet, but I have 25% Tyreek Hill, and 80% of that Tyreek Hill is that captain. It's either he goes nuts or like I think that he's not going to do much. So that's kind of how I'm playing him tonight.
Yeah, he strikes me as the type of guy that you don't really need anywhere other than the captain spot.
No, I mean, I do have some in regular lineups, but that's solely because I couldn't make it work. Like, I want to get him in the captain spot when I'm targeting him, because that's what you're going for. It's got that vibe of complete, boom bust by nature. Derrick Henry's the obvious example. Like, if someone goes so far off, it just becomes a 5-man flex tournament with all the captains, irrelevant.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what you get for playing Leonard Fournette as one of those 5 men, dude.
Fishy.
That was ugly.
Yeah.
Josh, you didn't witness this. Ben and I and our friend Ponta were all had just top. Ben was solo 7th, and Ponta and I were with some other people in a tie for 23rd out of 100,000 people, with 86% owned Leonard Fournette as our low score, and we were the only people up there who even had him because everyone else who played him was already dead. Brutal loss. So, like, if he had done anything in the fourth quarter, it's like print fest. And it was a really nice showdown, but not one that made me want to retire. So
no, not so much. Maybe for different reasons.
Good point. Fair point.
Yeah, 1 point. Good point.
Yeah, 1 point. All right. What are you guys doing? Just obviously, two most obvious, but I don't have much quarterback at the captain specifically. Like, did you find? Yeah, I don't have a ton. Did you get to Mahomes? If you do that, you have to sacrifice. Obviously, they're expensive. I went with skill positions or somewhat punted, mostly with running backs.
Same.
Nice. All right, we're gonna ride and die together.
It's a tough sell to put like Rivers in the captain spot in this game today.
That is my number 1 captain of the night.
Really?
Yeah. It's in specific kind of builds where I have like Damian Williams and Chiefs defense and a lot of pass catchers. It's almost impossible to do Keenan Allen in those, but like it's just hope that the Chiefs get out to a big lead, beat the snot out of them, and Phil Rivers throws for 450. He threw for 450 yards in week 1 against these guys too, which was by far his biggest game of the year. He's not been doing all that much throwing lately because they're killing teams. Like, he hasn't had to. So I like him to have a really big game. I'm with you. It's very difficult. Like, you're definitely not like, it's very hard. You're only playing one of Mahomes, Kelsey, Hill, and Keenan Allen if you put Phil Rivers in captain, which is not fun. But I think it can be done. Travis Kelce's, these teams play each other a lot. So it's not, I mean, a lot is relative, but we have some sample here. And like last 3 games against the Chargers, Kelsey's got like 3 receptions for 53 yards total. Or sorry, 7 receptions for 53 yards total.
So you're telling me not to love Travis Kelce tonight in the captain spot? Is that what I'm hearing?
I don't love it. Ben, what do you think?
I'm splitting the difference. I have him much in my captain spot. I have more Travis Kelce on my teams than Tyreek. I just think that the targets will be there. I don't know. I get what you're doing with Rivers. I do think it's an interesting situation. I know this is a lot of ifs, and you can always say, yeah, if all this stuff happens, I'll be successful. But there's not going to be a lot of people that jam Rivers and don't use Keenan Allen. Even within the salary constraints, like if you have to take one of those other guys, it's going to be Keenan Allen for an overwhelming majority of people.
That's a tough sell.
It is a tough sell. It really is. But Mike Williams, Tyrell Williams, those guys, it's not. There's an avenue where Rivers has a monster game and Keenan Allen has a middling game.
Yeah, definitely. At that price too not that you can worry too much about it on a showdown slate. Like sometimes you just have to make the build that you need to make.
Yeah.
But the gap between Rivers and Keenan Allen is tough to fit around like a good rest of your lineup.
And Keenan Allen is the exact opposite of Tyreek Hill, where if this is like a cash game type of setting, you trust the median projection so much more on Keenan Allen. Like Keenan Allen is going to, and listen, there is certainly upside in his game. Yeah. But I would be much more willing to bet lots of money that Keenan Allen scores between, 14 and 25 DraftKings points tonight. Tyreek Hill, it's like, all right, what are you putting his like 95% outcome at? It's like, well, I think 95% of the time he'll score between, 2 and 50 DraftKings.
Yep.
It is much
more narrow bars on Keenan Allen.
Yeah.
100%.
Which makes him kind of fadeable in tournaments, like if other crazy shit happens around it.
So for me, and this goes back to game script, I think his median projection in a low-scoring game is so pertinent that it's tough for me to get away, because if he gets 16,
good point,
and it's a very low-scoring game, that becomes mega upside in a way. In a shootout, 100% with you. Like Chiefs-Rams, he could get 20, and it's not part of the optimal.
Right. Yeah. Keenan Allen is super valuable in a low-scoring game.
Yeah, exactly.
Which apparently Ben thinks it's going to be.
Yeah, I don't want to say it's not going to be
6-3, right? Is that what you said at the beginning?
Yeah, 6-3, but the 6 is going to be 3 safeties. So let's not get crazy.
Wow.
No,
tease the over/under. How do you? It's not a tease. What do you do when you like give away points? Get more.
Pleaser action.
Yeah, pleaser. Take under 45. Just put your bookie in a body bag.
No, like I said, points are going to be scored. This is not going to be like we've seen, but I wouldn't be stunned. I know we'll get to predictions later, but we'll see.
Yeah, I don't know the structure of the show anymore. When do we get to predictions? Oh, 7:53. Let me go ahead and put those NBA lineups on. Promo code NBA strategy.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, I forgot about the.
Do this much, everybody. This much I can handle. 24 days of giveaways going on right now. That is no different for this particular show. Please like the video and comment afterwards. What do we want people to comment today? Obviously something about this game.
We usually do Showdown Captain on Showdown Captain things, but I'm feeling spicy. This is
I'm mixing it up. This is Three Fellas Remix.
Yeah. How about what's your favorite cognac?
Well,
something about the game and you come up with that. What are you?
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and assume that all of the chat doesn't have a favorite cognac.
Yeah, I think so. But Mr. Fancy Pants Josh over here does enjoy the grape juice.
I'm enjoying it right now.
There you go.
What about winning, score? Basically, who do you have and by how much?
Yeah.
So
yeah, predict the game, everybody. Like this video. Comment when the video is over, giving us the final score. Both sides, Chargers and Chiefs. There you go. If you do this, if you like and comment, you have the opportunity to win a 1-month subscription to awesemo.com for the sport of your choice, or a piece of merch from our merch store, shop.awesemo.com, and you get an entry. That's the word I'm looking for. It's been a long day. You get an entry into our giveaway from. Oh my God, I'm dying on this one. I'm just trying to run it off the top of my head. I'm thinking about football. Haven't thought about football all week, just NBA. You can win a free 1-year premium all access subscription. We are drawing that on Christmas Eve, so someone's going to wake up with a nice little year-long subscription to Osimo in their stocking on Christmas Day. Can't beat it. And all you have to do is like and comment. Makes it really easy. All right, back to the real stuff, everybody. Sorry for the terrible plug.
It's pathetic.
Mike Bucket says, "Come on, Josh, you're better than this." You know what? I'm probably not.
It's middling.
I'd like to be. I'm not confident that I really am, though. What are you going to do about it, though?
You just do your best. We all do our best, with what we got. Some of us have less than others.
Wow.
Come on, man.
Sorry.
I'm not going to lie. I really like my overlay on this beach holding the cocktail. It feels good. I'm just facing the wrong direction.
Yeah, I can't see you. I'm excited to see this after the show. It's
We just get the giant blue background and tiny little cartoon Josh head.
It's true.
That's what we are interacting with right now, Jack.
Gotcha. Do you guys have any interest in either defense from a Showdown perspective?
Yeah.
Really?
I like the Chargers defense.
Jesus.
For the reasons, Andrew talked about this ad nauseum, just the way Mahomes plays, as great as he is, and he is great. He puts some balls up for grabs. Bosa, I'm telling you right now, is going to get to him tonight. They will put heat on him. And when you're that good, it can be to a detriment. He makes throws he shouldn't make because he can. Sometimes those get through. Other times they get picked off. So we'll see. But I don't have as much Chiefs defense. It sounds like you have a little running it back with Rivers.
Yeah, I have a little bit. I'm not in love with it, but I am playing some. It's more the Chargers themselves too are an excellent fantasy defense because they have all these monster stud players that it's a lot of Casey Hayward types. They create crazy pressure and they'll give up huge plays every once in a while. But who cares, right? For those of you who haven't heard me, for those of you who have heard me rant about this before, I'm very sorry. But 14 to 34 DraftKings points a lot, 14 to 34 real life points allowed is a difference of 2 DraftKings points. The absolute worst the defense can do as far as giving up points goes is -4. If they score a couple defensive touchdowns, who gives a shit if the Chiefs hang or if the Chiefs hang? We saw this in the Rams game. The Chiefs put up 51 real points and the Rams defense scored 22 fantasy points because they turned them over a million times. It can work.
Yeah.
Especially something like Showdown.
No, it's true. I mean, the thing about the Chargers defense, and you can look at it at both sides, you kind of touched upon this. Take last week against Cincinnati. It's oh man, they're going to shut them out. That's not what the Chargers do. Teams will move the ball on them. Teams will score on them because there's a lot of gamble and they have a lot of it's similar to the Rams in the sense of they have some really good aggressive players like that.
Yeah.
As a defense as a whole, it can be had if you move it methodically, especially.
With you.
Yeah.
I'm not touching any defense in this game, just FYI.
Do you have more interest in the kickers?
I mean, as much as you can have interest in a kicker, I probably prefer Butker to Badgley, but
same.
Not by
raining a little bit too. Not that that's that big of a deal. I don't know.
What'd you say? I didn't hear you.
I think it's raining a little bit too. Not that that's that big of a deal. I just hate playing kickers in Showdown. I just don't like doing it. It feels bad. Sometimes I do it. I mix them in for sure, but
so do I. But I know this isn't great to say, but I honestly mix them in almost at random. It's hard to correlate them with other plays. And I do think, and I'm sure a lot of people think like this. Kickers, when it's in a dome, that's different. But it's cold. You said it might be a little wet out there. That's tough just because, they only get X amount of tries. And even if one of those, if 55-yarders are just not on the board tonight due to conditions, well, that really caps. Not that they have huge ceilings, but you need that potential. And obviously when it's inside, that, okay, a 50-yarder, the percentage make is just so increased. So
yeah,
it is a little
no mulligans in kicking.
It's true. That would be a lot more helpful.
Yep.
Because I'm sure it's cold in Kansas City. Not that it's freezing, but it's got to be pretty cold in Arrowhead at night.
I would imagine
What do you
it's
think?
not desirable.
Got the meteorologist data up, Ben? We got
It's between 0 and 50 degrees, I can tell you for certain. Just like Tyreek Hill's output.
Hell of a take there.
Yeah. For certain, though, you wouldn't go. I mean, there's zero chance that it's over 50 degrees.
Yeah, 0. That's
I'm pulling it up now. It's pretty cold, apparently. 38.6. No rain.
30. It's only 30. I would have taken the under on that. Yikes.
That's brisk.
It snowed here today, but
that's quite brisk.
You're a bit different. You're not in Kansas anymore, Ben.
I see what you did there.
They're not. Kansas City's not in Kansas either, actually.
It's not. That's true.
Well, it is, but just not that one.
Yeah, that's also true.
Yep.
I'm just looking through my lineups right now. So the other guy, obviously, Sammy Watkins not walking through that door. You got Conley. You got Demarcus Robinson. I'd say the majority are going to Conley, right?
Are people actually going to play Demarcus Robinson?
I mean, he'll carry
a little.
Because I started to put some in because it was like, I really like the idea of this because he's been playing. His snap count has gone up quite a bit lately. And it's not at the expense of Tyreek Hill. Like Tyreek Hill was banged up and did not play a ton last week, but that is not why Demarcus Robinson went up. It's Demetrius Harris is playing less. They're just running more 3 wide. I don't know. I am interested in him, but if it turns out he's 30% again, or 30% like Chris Conley used to be, like when he was the cheap guy, like that's going to bum me out because I really thought I had found a gem earlier today. And this is not a game you're going to find gems in, really.
I don't think he gets up there, but I also think he's over 10%.
Okay.
That's too much.
Yeah, that would be because there's just, and like most showdowns, we do have a situation where there's a giant dead zone. Like I'm just looking at the salary non-captain right now. You have just a string of injuries: Gordon, Eckler, Aaron Watkins. So there's nobody between
$6,000 and $10,000. Every single player is hurt or a backup quarterback.
Yeah, it's literally a gigantic dead zone from Jackson to Kelsey. So it's that makes your builds difficult because there were some builds and it felt awkward where I have I can almost get to Travis Kelsey. And it's like, well, I have to take Conley if I want to keep this. That's absurd. But that's just kind of what we're working with tonight.
God, I love Kelsey tonight. I guess I'm in the minority.
I think people will. I would imagine he should be popular. The guy's a monster. He's great. The Chargers are really good against the tight end for what it's worth, and they've generally shut him down in the past, but I'm not that worried about it.
I mean, he's matchup proof, obviously, to an extent.
Yeah, a little bit.
I don't know. I see them relying on him as some sort of safety blanket with no primary or secondary running back active. At that point, just rely on the guy that is, one of the most consistent players in the entire league at this point. He's been fantastic every single week. I love overexposing myself to him. Not sexually, but in terms of ownership on a normal Sunday slate. We hear everybody talk about I'm going to get a lot of McDonald this week, or Chalk is some other asshole that's terrible. And those guys are going to get 4 targets. You're praying that they get a touchdown and maybe 10 points. And it's like, okay, well, Travis Kelsey has the opportunity to literally break a slate at tight end. Sometimes it's too cute.
I agree with that. But this is Showdown.
Sure.
So you don't even have to play a tight end. And you can take the Patriots took him out. And they've chosen to do that before. And what they do is they just when the play starts, they have one of their linebackers. Yeah, they have one of their linebackers just crash into him.
He still had 9 targets.
Yeah. But he didn't really do a whole lot with him because they moved him everywhere else. And Hunt and Hill both score 40 against the Patriots every time because they decide to do that. Sure. It takes that kind of level of commitment to do it, but it can be done. And I don't know. The Chargers seem well equipped to do that. But
so my thing on that is, of course, anyone can truly be taken out. It's just usually sometimes it's at the detriment of your entire defense, kind of with New England there. Yeah. My thing tonight is if, and again, I know I'm saying a lot of ifs, But if Tyreek Hill is somewhat limited and they take Travis Kelce out, this is why I think there's a real chance this could be somewhat sluggish. Like, it's not like Kareem Hunt and the other weapons are there. Like, I guess, maybe Williams has a huge game, maybe Conley gets involved, but it seems like a situation the Chargers might be able to really allocate on Kelce, especially if Tyreek Hill is not giving them the vertical threat that he normally does.
And that's the key to it all, right? Just
I think so.
Picking that guy that you like or don't like, and then building the rest of the scenario around it. Because like everybody here can be like, oh yeah, I really like Travis Kelce today. There's a path to the rest of that. And if you don't like him, there's a path to a lineup that takes that opposite stance. So yeah, that's my take. I just explained Showdown to everyone. I'm sure they loved it.
Savant. The kid comes in for 40 minutes a season. You just fire bullets,
Hey, look, maybe this is the Broncos. Maybe you should listen to me. Broncos defense worked.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying, man.
Give him a taste. That's what you got to do. And now
the guy needs shots. Hey, did you know this guy plays basketball? He's like a freaking tight end.
I do like that you called me a savant. I feel like you wanted to use a different word before that and saved it.
Friend?
Yes, I'm a friend savant.
Yeah. No, I will say this. I think that what the way the game could work, what Ben is arguing, I think does make some sense. This spread is smaller than I would have thought. It opened at 3. It's been bet up to 3.5 because everyone thinks the Chiefs are way better than the Chargers because they have been all year. But it opened at 3, which that's it's in Kansas City. That is saying these two teams are equal.
Yeah.
Part of that's because Phil Rivers is much better than Pat Mahomes. But
yeah.
It's just,
there's a take. Do we want to just dive into that right now?
Wrong personnel, because I'm on his. I love Rivers too.
You know what Rivers is better at?
Producing children.
Yeah, that's where I was going with that.
Yep.
Put one in wifey.
Yep. No, I mean that's the thing, honestly, and I gut feel like you ask most people what this line is, 7.5, something like that. They would say at home Chiefs. I know they're a little banged up and whatnot, but I thought the spread was smaller. Even though I'm more on the Chargers, I think, than most. But yeah, there's just something to this game that I think maybe the possessions are a little longer. It's not as up and down. It's sloppy to an extent, and that could really factor in, obviously. But it's still 2 prolific quarterbacks, and when you have that, obviously, there's potential for some fireworks.
I'm just shocked this line is 3.5 with Melvin Gordon out.
That's what I'm saying.
Running backs don't matter.
And no Eckler, no Gordon. I think a lot of people expected this spread to A, be higher, and B, even though the Chiefs, it moved a little, but it's not like this spread has been getting pounded and moving. So clearly the Chargers bet is holding somewhat steady.
Chargers are really good. Ben and I are 2 of the world's foremost Chargers apologists, which is not maybe we're not the best people to get advice on because every year I'm like, this is the second best team in football
every year,
and then they're 3-4. They've lost, a bunch of games they should have won.
Yeah, but their point differential is plus 67.
Oh yeah, they win. Yeah, they win by 40, and then they lose by 2 after driving down the entire field with no timeouts, and then they miss a kick.
Yeah,
but
the way that they could get in trouble though is their offensive line is really bad. Okung's still a fine player, but everyone else on that line is not good. And so if they can't run the ball, it does get into shootout area a little bit if they're not able to run the ball. I think, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I do think. I said this similar. It's a different game, but similar to the Seattle game where I thought getting out in front was if the Chargers can get out in front here, I think they can control it a little more. Whereas if the Chiefs hit them first and it starts to unravel quickly, that's where it could be a serious problem. And that's the scenario where I think it could be 41-17 Chiefs. I worry about that a little. I don't think that's going to happen though.
Right. If it just opens up with Tyrell or Tyreek Bigadong, and
if it's 14-3 immediately, then I worry about it. But the Chargers have to hit first and then control the game from there. Chiefs obviously can catch up a lot better. But still, that's the game plan for the Chargers for sure.
When do we pick who wins this game? I don't know the rules of this show, even though I'm in the middle seat with my.
Yeah, you're hosting. It's your you're the captain now.
I'm the captain now.
Well, we've got like 9 minutes till this.
I'm not the captain of shit here. You guys run the show.
One question that people were interested in that we should break down, and then I think this could be our final topic because we pretty much hit everything. But there are so many Williams to play tonight. Let's talk about the Los Angeles Williams. Do we prefer Tyrell or Mike?
I hate Mike Williams, but I prefer. Honestly, it's a coin flip in my opinion. I hate Mike Williams because there's too many Mike Williams in the NFL.
There was a Mike Williams at USC back in the day.
He was fantastic. And every time I see that damn name, I think that he's still the wide receiver for the Chargers, and it messes with me.
He should have been the one. He was so good in college, and it didn't work.
Was that the Vikings drafted him like 7th or something like that?
No, he went to the Lions, right?
He
was part of that three. He was with Charles Rogers.
Yeah. Charles Rogers, Calvin Johnson, and him. Yeah.
Yeah, it was. But yeah, this Mike Williams obviously is a red zone threat. I think I leaned to him, and me and Andrew were talking a little before the show. I think the majority of people lean to him too. It's coin flip in my mind as well, but I have a little more Mike Williams than Tyrell Williams.
I like Tyrell Williams better. He's playing more. Like, he's definitely out there. Like, I think Travis Benjamin and Mike Williams are fighting for snaps a little bit, and Tyrell Williams is actually a starter, and he'll be out there for most of it. He was hurt a little bit and had that one game where those other two got a lot more. But I don't know. I just think Tyrell Williams is the most talented. Like, I don't know. Is that a hot take to say he's more talented? I don't know what Mike Williams did in college because I don't follow that. But he's 6'4" and runs a 4.35 or whatever. Like, that's more talented to me. I like Tyrell Williams a lot, and I have a little bit more of him. But do I feel strongly about it? Not really. It's a strange path where, like, lately Tyrell Williams has been playing more, and Mike Williams has been getting sort of the more shots, and that's not what you'd expect. Tyrell Williams is like your prototypical
shot taker,
shot guy. Yeah.
He has not taken any quality shots over the past couple weeks. That's for sure.
Nope. Buy that man some cognac. Yeah, I don't know.
He was a little bit like there was a game, and that was when Travis Benjamin was $200 on Showdown. That was the game that Tyrell Williams was active, but he was basically a decoy. He barely played. He seems to be fully healthy.
He played a lot, but he didn't get many looks.
Yeah, he was more of a decoy. He was out there, but he wasn't really doing anything. So it's obviously a kind of a buy low spot, but honestly, it's very tough to distinguish those weapons on the outside. You know, Keenan Allen's going to get his, and then who knows after that.
Do you want Benjamin?
I have 0 of him. I think he's firmly behind both of them.
I do too. When he was $200 and 14%, if he catches a long touchdown, which he did, and that's the only thing he did, then that's amazing.
Yeah.
At 4,200, at 4,200, yeah, 160-yard touchdown pays you off and you're happy, but it's not like it's not a smash like it was in that when he was 200. And that was against the Steelers too, so there were not that this is much different, but there were just a million studs to pay up for. If Travis Benjamin was $200, I'd be playing a ton of him. But at 42, it's like it doesn't really buy me an extra monster. So
not in this game. It's a tough sell.
Yeah. That's nope.
Any other tight ends besides Kelsey? You guys care about Gates? I'm just looking through it now.
Hunter Henry, like Stephen A. Just.
What was? Oh, will you tell me this story? I saw the.
Holy smokes, that was absurd this morning. Not that thank God I don't watch that nonsense, but he just broke down. I didn't even watch the clip, but from what I gathered, he broke down the game tonight with his, I guess it was maybe under the radar people or keys to the game, and it was Spencer Ware, Hunter Henry, Derek Johnson, who none of them will be, one's not on the team, one's obviously hurt. Hunter Henry he was referencing how good Hunter Henry's played all year.
Oh, wow.
And then he was like, he tweeted out like, yeah, that was like ridiculous. Like I was doing a million things at once. I meant Virgil Green. It was like, that's not making it better. Like,
no.
You should have said Keenan Allen.
Has
Like,
Virgil Green played in like a month?
not recently.
So Stephen A. Smith was like the equivalent of putting me on Three Fellas.
That's what we were trying to accomplish here. We wanted to see if Chad could get it. Yeah, that's it.
I mean, what's amazing about Stephen A. Smith is you could put him on a podcast about, global warming or like, space travel, and he'd just be like, he'd be amazing at it. He'd just like crush it. You'd believe everything he said, and then it'd be like, oh, actually,
Well, yeah, global warming's fake and space travel's fake.
Put me on a space travel podcast. Yeah, no, it was absurd. Obviously, it was all those people were. That's how I saw it. Like Hunter Henry and Derek Johnson and Stephen A. were all trending all morning on Twitter. I was just like, what in God's name is happening?
I'm surprised he didn't recommend Larry Johnson.
Yeah. Priest Holmes, Larry Johnson combo tonight.
Christian Okoye is set for a huge day.
Just absurd. Are we getting? Is this the time for?
People are so dumb, right? Am I right?
You tell them.
You just told them. I was making fun of. Never mind.
Great
let's
job.
pick some spreads, right?
Okay. Is that the gimmick? That's what I got to do? I got to pick against the spread?
Yeah, 3.5.
Oh, man, that hook is... Can I buy the hook?
Sure, but then you got to lay 125 friendship points.
That's fine. I'll reload. I'll be like legalized. I'll just put it on my credit card. Nobody will hear that.
Put them in a body bag. All right, wait, you want the Chiefs -3? Or are you going all the way through, buying the hook to 2.5?
No, I'll take the 3.5. I've got the Chiefs here.
Okay. You got a score? Score. Have it by less than 3. Be bold. Just like playing.
That's a Stephen A. shit right there.
Yeah, 24-21, but I'll lay the 3.5.
I've got the Chiefs by 3.5, 30-27.
That's that Karl Marx action. We miss you, Carl, our old golf co-host. He used to do his hot take would be just 2 things that were not possible to happen.
Rio makes the cut, but also doesn't finish the tournament. It's like, wait, what?
Yeah. But he wins, but someone from the 7Ks wins, but it's not him. But
give me the Chiefs 30-24.
30-24. Got it. That's a good one.
Give me the Chargers 31-27. So I'm covering. I'll take the Chargers.
I'm with you. I'll take Chargers. A little less. I'll take them 24-21.
They're going to be making me a permanent fella after this shit.
Yeah, when it's just...
your boy's going to be 2 for 2 on fire.
Yeah, we're going to have to keep you on after you keep this rolling.
We're either booting Laffy or we're turning this into 4 fellas.
Hey, the more the merrier. Round table.
Yeah. Yes, exactly.
Square table.
College basketball bets after this.
Yeah, go play McNeil State or whatever nonsense you were talking about before we started this stuff.
There's an ugly card today. There's nobody playing. It's finals week.
What do you think of Bol?
Well, he's all right. I mean, he didn't play too great last night, but when you're 7-3 and you can move like that, it helps. So
can he be good in the NBA?
He's not going to be able to play defense.
Well, I mean, half the league can't.
I think he'll be pretty good. He could shoot.
What is he in the NBA? Who's the player?
So I was trying to think about that when you just asked that.
Isn't it Brandon Ingram?
Yeah, but he's
much
bigger.
But Brandon Ingram is also 6'10", and I could push him off of this spot. That's the.
Don't those 4 or 5 inches though make a huge difference?
I don't know.
For help defense,
there's a joke to be made there.
Yeah,
come on, shit.
I don't know what he'll be. But
I don't know why I brought that up. I just think it's really crazy to say Bol.
Yeah, Bol. I bet against Bol, as you can in our premium Slack betting channel. You can find my college basketball articles. I bet against Bol last night, and I pushed, which was annoying because had no business losing that bet, but I had no business winning the other one. So
I thought that was your first loss of the year. Other than that, you're 27-0 against the spread.
Box. Yeah, that's it.
Tori Rump says he's Sean Bradley with handle and a jumper, which I don't really know how to picture that as an NBA player.
So he's a monster from.
Yeah, that's so weird.
That's very good.
He can move more than Sean. Wasn't Sean Bradley a bit of a stiff?
This guy's got like he can handle the ball.
Yeah.
I've seen him move, and it's like it looks kind of impressive. Isn't it like just a little bit taller? I mean, a lot taller, Brandon Ingram.
That's fair.
I like that comp.
Zion is just Julius Randle. I know,
100%.
But like the best version of Julius Randle ever.
Dude, Julius Randle's fucking awesome.
Love him.
He gets screwed by the era he plays in. If he was around in the 90s, like that guy would be one of the, he's like as good. He's like, it's like if you drop Sean Kemp in the league now, like he wouldn't be a sort of like player you can play all the time either.
Weird. I don't think Julius Randle would be good in a different era. Well, I don't want to say good. I don't want to say good. That's not the word that I mean, because I still think he's talented. I don't think that I don't think it's the same because there's more big bodies packing the paint in that scenario. The help defense rules change. The doubling rules change.
But just the whole like he's not a great shooter, and like he's just so
like
good.
DeJuan Blair.
Right. He's that guy had no knees though.
Yeah.
He literally had no knees.
Literally had no knees, yeah. But Julius Randle's just so good at like doing the, the posty kind of stuff like that people, it's not as valuable anymore because you can shoot that shot at 55%. And if someone's shooting 36% from three, they're just as good as you.
He's actually in a really good spot now with AD. Three fellas talking basketball.
Yeah, what I was about to say, Showdown's locked, and now we've just turned it into a new show.
Yeah,
Julius Randle's one of my favorite people to talk about, so we can do this.
I mean, they have 96 minutes to spread between Mirotic, AD, and Randle, and they can do it with all of the combinations of those guys. They shouldn't play a single person any other minutes at the 4 and 5. A ton of minutes.
Randle and Mirotic are both massive liabilities at the 5. That was the problem, but defensively, I mean. But what are you going to do?
I mean, yeah, they're not the only ones in this league. Three fellas talking football.
Mirotic at least can shoot. That's the thing is like if you're a center in the NBA now, you need to either be able to shoot or play just like monstrous defense.
Yeah,
can't do either. Then you're kind of in trouble, and that's where Randle gets into some trouble. Like he's not a good defender, and he's not like an excellent shooter. So it's and he's not. He's kind of he's a bygone era power forward.
I want to see what their plus minus is with him on.
He's so good.
And then we'll get out of here. Because I got to pack. And do like 10 other things.
Oh, yeah, you're going to the final this weekend, right?
I mean, not like I qualified for that shit.
It's all deadly.
The boss man did it. The boss man had too many finals to go to and needed someone to cover him.
I'll be looking forward to the. I always love finals time because somebody usually compiles all the qualifier entries, and stuff is fascinating. There are some people out there that dump a lot of money into qualifiers, like crazy amounts. I always find that fascinating. And then there's a couple people. It's like, yeah, they just hit the first one. That's got to be a good feeling.
Obviously, I'm hoping that Alex wins, but I'm selfishly hoping that I am there to accept one of those giant oversized checks for $500,000 and be like, oh shit, none of this is mine.
It's good for the marketing though. They don't know that. You just
right.
Yeah.
You could be like those two bros that were in all the DraftKings ads back in the day. When they're like holding their fist up, Does anyone know who those guys even are?
I don't even know what you're talking about. I know, like all
the DraftKings ads.
I know who you mean. When DraftKings made their giant ad push, what was that? 2 years ago?
Yep,
3 or 4.
Really?
3. 3.5. Yeah, it was the beginning of football season 2015.
There you go.
Yeah, 3 years.
And they had. I mean, it was just funny because they had all the ones like, who's the guy? Oh man, I can't even remember his name anymore. Oh, E. Hafner. Like they have the FanDuel commercial of E. Hafner, and he's like, I've made $22,000 on FanDuel. It's like, okay, like that was dated immediately. It's like, oh, yeah, that guy's won a lot of money.
Yeah, he's won a couple more shekels than that.
A little more than 22K, I would say.
If that's the high moment for him, like we have been misrepresented by a lot. We have no idea what the back end looks like for him.
Yes, taking some baths out there
for real. What stakes has he been playing and getting eaten alive on? Let's get out of here. Three fellas talking football. Like and comment the score that you expect this game to end on, both the Chiefs and the Chargers. I got nothing left, man. Been talking all day, worrying about this stuff. I'm not making any sense. Best of luck, everybody. We'll talk to you later.